Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mike Kollin at MikeKollin.com. Okay, so today we're going to talk about male and female energy, meaning the external energy versus the internal energy. Now, the first time I ever heard of this was in, I forget the name, it was like electric shop, I think is what we called it in high school. It was in 9th or 10th grade, and my friend's dad was the teacher for this electricity shop. So it was Mr. Gallagher was his name. So he pulled a cord out of the wall and he said, come on up, everyone take a look at this. And for some reason this class only had about 15, 20 kids. It was a pretty big high school, so it was kind of a rare for small class. But I do believe the reason why somehow I magically ended up in this class, in fact, I didn't even sign up for it. Someone added it onto my thing, and I wasn't really happy being there, but I do realize now, like, this is something that I was supposed to learn to later on in life teach to people. And by the way, from powerless to powerful, this is the reason why men are not powerful in society anymore, and why men tend not to be. I shouldn't say all men, but a lot of men have disconnected from this power inside. And the whole course that I teach for men, the Cracked Female Code course, it's a 6-day training. I also do one-on-one coaching after you take the training. One of the core pieces, there's 3 core pillars of my course, is to literally plug men back into themselves to reconnect them. The modern male has been disconnected from their power. So in order for a relationship to thrive and to grow and to be healthy and happy and prosperous, we need a balance. Now, I don't really want to use that term because that term's been used in such a bland, nondescript way, meaning it was never described. Like, what do you mean it needs to be used together, combined? Like, what does this mean? So that's what I'm going to explain today, why it's so important for the male and female energy to balance each other out. I want to use a better word. They're supposed to work together. They're supposed to be integrated into flow. The energy is supposed to go back and forth, and it's supposed to work together. When you have this, you have power. Now, here's the ultimate teaching. It's not just about relationships between a physical male and a physical female. In fact, the teaching is much deeper. One thing you'll begin to understand and learn when you listen to me talk about stuff is it's never on one level. Like, oh, well, this is just between men and women. No, it's not. There's another level to it. Everything has a multitude of levels. So if you see something on one level, I promise you it's on another level and on another level and on another level. Now, you'll hear people, in fact, believe it or not, and this has nothing to do with what just happened last week about Charlie Kirk, but I just happened to come across a video, I think it was a short of Charlie Kirk talking about this on call it a religious level. Now, if you were to take that to the next level of the spiritual level, which we're going to do here, you're going to understand a deeper depth of what this means. So, how did Mike go from electricity class to relationships to spirit? It's on all the levels. It's the same thing. So I'm in electricity class. I forget what it's called. I think I call electricity class, probably called electric shop is probably what it was called. So he pulls out the cord and he brings it up on the table and we're looking at it. He goes, do you ever notice that there's 2 prongs? And we're like, yeah. He goes, well, this is the male prong and this is the female prong. And we're like, okay. And this prong, the third one, we're going to talk about later. I was like, okay. So go ahead and take a look at this. So you have, hold on. All right, there we go. So you have a left, a right, and then there's a third one, okay? So there's 3 prongs that go into this electrical outlet. So the teacher said one on the left is the male, the other one is the female, and then the third one is what we call the grounding cord. So the male one is the energy that is external. The female energy is the internal. So if you go in California, we call it PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric. Okay, so that's our electric company. So when they make the energy, they build up the energy and they send it out, going outwards from the factory, the electrical factory we'll call it. That's the male energy. That's the push energy. That has amperage and it pushes. So that pushes into your home, and then it pushes it into the light bulb or whatever you're using, and that's male energy. The male energy literally is the external push energy. So it's going in this direction. Now when it goes through the light bulb or whatever appliance you're using, and it comes and the minute it starts to return, that's now the female energy. That's the receiving energy. So that's returning energy. So in order for electricity to work, it has to flow. The minute you have a blockage or separation, it just completely shuts off. So as long as you have connection going external, internal, everything flows great. In other words, it works smooth. It functions the way it's supposed to. So the energy leaving the factory is the male energy, and the energy returning back to the factory, so when the factory receives it, is the internal female energy. And literally, if you go to an electrician, they'll tell you, like, yeah, this is the female, I just forgot the word of it, hold on. Okay, so even for this, so the wall, the outlet, that would be the female part. The electrical wire, the cord, is literally the penis. It's literally the male energy. It's funny because it's just like a penis. It penetrates in, okay? Now, when this functions smoothly, everything goes great. Now, what's the third one for? That's the grounding wire. So this is for when there are electrical surges. Now, believe it or not, but sun blasts, they can cause electrical surges. In fact, a lot of people will buy what's called surge protectors. So when it comes into your home and it goes into this box before it goes into your computer, so you don't fry your computer, you can. In fact, I have like 3 of them right here in my place right now in my living room. So the third one is to ground the energy. And that is what creates flow. So there's no static electricity, so there's no electrical surges. So if there is a surge, the electricity goes into the ground, and the ground itself literally grounds the energy and allows the energy to flow smoothly. Otherwise, it could damage your appliance, your computer. It can cause things to be glitchy, and can shock you and can cause all kinds of problems. But if it's grounded, if it's rooted, well, it'll be fine. Now, if you don't know, there in your building, in your home, in your business, wherever you are, there literally are wires that go down into the actual earth from your building. And that's what this third bottom part in the hole here is, right here on the appliance from the plug-in. Sorry, I meant the outlet. Now, another way you can prove it to yourself is go to your telephone poles, the electric poles in your neighborhood. Now, I don't think it's everyone, but I believe it's like every 5th or 8th one. If you keep looking, you're going to see a wire coming down, and usually it's covered by a wooden thing which has a kind of a space drilled into it, and it covers the wire that comes on the outside of the pole, and it goes down into the earth, okay? Again, this is literally, physically, a grounding wire. Now, why is this important when it comes to relationships and spirit? Because this is what it's all about. Now, I'm going to add another level. Let's talk about your physical flesh, your physical body. How does your heart beat? How does your heartbeat actually squeeze and pull and push and pull, etc.? It's electricity. How does your muscles work? How does your muscles, lift something or push something or pull something? Yeah, by electrical impulse. It's electricity. How does your nervous system work? How does your brain work? Literally electricity. Kind of interesting, huh? So now, how do you ground your electricity, which we call energy? So when I use the word energy, a lot of times I actually mean physical electricity. Okay, let's back up first. What would happen to you if you're not grounded? If your electricity is not rooted and not grounded, what's going to happen? You're going to have spikes. You're going to be happy. You're going to be sad. You're going to be angry. You're going to be stuck in your head. You're going to panic and have anxiety, right? So another thing is that you could be doing fine, but you're not grounded, and somebody comes in the room and yells at you or makes a loud noise or whatever, and all of a sudden it just throws you off balance. It's because you really weren't balanced, or another word for that is grounded in the first place. So after I got better and better and better, because it is a practice, you have to learn how to develop this. But now here's the deal though, you can get really good at it really fast and actually ground yourself. And in fact, what I do with my clients when I work with them over the phone, I'm teaching these techniques, and I'm actually using my energy to guide their energy to ground. And usually within 30 to 45 minutes, an hour at most, there's just going, man, I feel so much better. It's because we got your energy to ground. Now the goal is to do it enough with me, and eventually you start doing it all by yourself, and you practice and practice and practice until boom, you get it. So one day someone walks in the room and they're upset, or they're stuck in their head, they're not grounded, and they're having a bad day, and you don't get thrown off balance. You're just this rooted, deeply rooted and emotionally grounded person, and you stay calm. And the other thing is you stay open so you can see the bigger picture. And this is what's called holding space. Now holding space is actually there's a specific way to do it. Now here's the funny thing. You don't actually hold the space. You let go of the space. Holding is not grounded. So when you learn to be emotionally grounded, and I'm going to use that phrase, holding space. I don't really like it because it doesn't really fit what you're physically actually doing with your energy, because you're actually expanding your energy by letting go of it. Is this allows you to stay calm, and it creates a calm space for this person to unwind in. And it helps them to find their center. It helps them to heal themselves as well. So when I work with people, guess what I'm doing? I'm doing this technique. Number one, I'm grounding my energy. Number two, I'm holding space so your energy can unwind, and you eventually can catch your breath and you can ground yourself emotionally. Now I teach this to anyone, okay? Now I want to ask, okay, I want to say it this way. Ladies, what do you think I teach men in my course, Crack the Female Code? Yep, I teach them to ground themselves energetically and emotionally. Now guys, why do you think I do this? See, when you are an emotionally grounded person, it allows her to calm down with your energy. The modern male is not grounded. This is why relationships are going all to hell, and everyone's here's what's happening. Nobody's grounded. Everyone's ping-ponging their energy off of each other, off of your foreheads. This is physically, electrically what's happening between couples. Your heart energy's closed, your forehead energy's closed, you're pinging energy off your forehead, you're pinging its energy off your heart to heart, and this is causing static electricity. It's causing jolts of electricity to shoot through your bodies, and you get upset and you get mad and you yell and scream. That's energy, folks. Now, I already know that women, you understand what I'm talking about. But ladies, I also know something that you don't understand. Men have probably already clicked off this video because this is a subject they're like, what the hell is this guy talking about? Energy, electricity, relationships, emotional grounding, what's that? This is a concept that men have disconnected from a long time ago. Usually older men get it, and this is why younger women, or women period, are just attracted to older men. Because and here's the deal, it's not all older men. I know men that are in the 50s and 60s that are not grounded. They're stuck in the forehead. This is the curse of the modern era of computers and technology and the fast pace that we live. So it's a concept he's just like, okay, this is that gibberish because this is right brain language. I mean, now you're thinking, wait a minute, Mike, you were talking about, electricity class and electric shop and your science teacher and not math, but, electricity. Yeah, it's all very logical. It's all very left brain. It's kind of an odd thing. You can talk about science to men all day long and they're like, what's this guy talking about? Yet they're the ones that say they're the logical scientific beings. And yet you can talk pure science to them and goes right over their head. So even the word emotional grounding, that's a right brain word and the left brain cannot process it. So this is the challenge of my course. How do I get men into the course on a concept that they don't understand yet? See, when they do come in, I open them up to the right brain, and I open them and I open them and I open them over and over and over. We condition this into them. So now we can have a conversation about right brain subjects. Sounds kind of cool, ladies, huh? So another way of saying that is right brain concepts. Now, guys, how does this benefit you? It's going to give you the power that you've been searching for since you were a little kid, before you were a teenager, and you're still looking for it. The problem is you're looking in all the wrong places. It's not out there. It's in here. Before I go on to the next segment, I want to say this to the men. Why do you think that this is so valuable and attractive to a woman? Why do you think a woman would literally be attracted to this? See, most men think the way a man thinks externally, about paying for dinner, pulling out the chair, having a nice car. I mean, these are nice things to have. It's kind of like the basics, though. But when it comes to love and romance, you need to unlock that attraction, and that's done by being emotionally grounded. I'm telling you right now, a lot of guys are like, why do women walk up to you? It's like, because I'm emotionally grounded all the time. It's very comforting. It allows a woman to feel comfortable literally in your physical space. When you're up in your head, when you're thinking, nothing is more of a turnoff than being a thinker, being stuck in your head. See, when you're emotionally grounded, it's literally like the telephone poles. It's like this one pole has this wire that goes down into the earth and it's grounded, and it allows the energy from all these other poles to be grounded as well. This helps other people, not just women, but children and animals, to calm down and be grounded as well. A lot of people are like, why do animals walk up to you? Deer walk up to you with their babies. Birds walk up to you. Squirrels come up. Like, what is this? It's being grounded. It feels comforting, and guess what, guys? If you want to make love to a woman, you need to be emotionally grounded, because this is what helps her to open up to you mentally, emotionally, and physically. Without this, you're going to be fighting a battle that you don't want to fight, because it will never end. This ends the battle. By the way, did I mention I teach this in my course? Okay, guys, I'm going to give you another option. I can teach this to you one-on-one, per an individual charge per session. It's going to be maybe 10 sessions or so you don't have to pay the whole big fee of my course to do this. So if you want to just learn how to do this, I promise you this is going to benefit you in ways you can't even imagine yet. Did I mention it makes you feel really, really good, like getting a long hour-and-a-half deep massage? Here's the deal. What is this all really about? Even relationships are symbolic of what this is about. There's an actual deeper level than just being in love, being married, having sex. There's a deeper level that goes into the spirit world. Now, when Jesus says he shall be married one unto she, did I say that he shall be married one unto she, he's talking about your left male brain and your right female brain. So we learn about this in psychology class. The left brain's the male brain, the right brain's the female brain. And then we learn about it in hypnosis, and then you learn about it in NLP. And one of the things I started learning in hypnosis, NLP, and also energy healing, because energy healing talks about it too, okay? When energy healers are talking, they're saying the same thing as psychologists. They're just using different words, such as energy versus electricity, okay? Instead of saying female energy, they say the feminine. All right, it's this, or actually they wouldn't. I don't think psychology would say female energy. They'd say female. Maybe they would. So here's one thing I noticed. Just a real kind of side note. All these different professions: psychology, hypnosis, NLP, energy healers, even church. They're talking about the same exact thing. Charlie Kirk talking about the male energy is supposed to support the female energy. So he builds the structure, which is left brain, rule, structure, organization. And the right brain is the emotional, creative, spiritual brain. And he says, the man's supposed to build the structure around the woman so the woman can create the beauty of life. And she creates the beauty of children. She puts the beauty in your home, bringing in flowers and arranging the furniture and putting pictures up and doing all the fine things that the male energy doesn't do. So the male energy is supposed to support the female energy. So the female, well, he didn't use the female energy or male energy, but he said the female, male and female, is to support her so she can begin to do her side of the work. It's two working together as one. And that is the goal of, I want to say life, but it goes beyond life. Because it's all about you becoming one with yourself. That's what Jesus meant when he said, he shall become one unto she. So during these NLP trainings, hypnosis trainings, energy healing trainings, I'm like, wait a minute, they said this in psychology class. Wait, what? See, one thing we learned in NLP and hypnosis is that the whole reason people come to you therapeutically is because they are out of rapport with themselves. So they is your left brain, themselves, yourself is your right brain. It's connected to your body. So here's what we mean, or they mean, when they say you're out of rapport with yourself. Have you ever been to hospital and seen one of those heart monitors when one of your friends, or even if it was on a TV show, they beep, 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 beep. They kind of go up and down as they're going from left to right, up and down, kind of slow. Sometimes erratic, sometimes not, sometimes smooth. So what we do is we get people to calm down. We get people to get into rhythm. So what we're doing is we're getting your left brain's hemisphere, its electrical pattern, beep, 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 beep. We're getting that rhythm to match the right brain's rhythm. When they are both beep, 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 and when they're both on the same rhythm, guess what happens? Now you have rapport. And what does that actually cause to happen? It causes the information to be in sync with each other. So now communication is going from left brain to right brain. Now they're on the same page. And now you're congruent with yourself, and now you are in your power. This is what I mean when I say I teach people literally how to step into, because you're literally going inside your body. I'm teaching you internal awareness techniques to bring you inside your body, because this connects you to yourself, meaning your right brain, and now you're connected to your power. So relationships are meant to, especially between a man and a woman, the whole purpose of it, you know what it was really about? Oh, it's about having children. No. Relationships are to teach you how to open up to the other side of your brain and to develop it and to balance out within yourself. So if a very left brain masculine male is with a female, a very right brain female, by the way, that's usually how it works. Very masculine left brain men tend to marry at least it used to be. I think things have changed now because humans are beginning to evolve. We're beginning to be left and right brain beings. Now there's still a big step to go, but it's happening. Now, what this does is it helps you over years to begin to use your right brain if you're a male, and for female, your left brain, okay? But as I've said in the past, for the most part, females, they tend to be very left and right brain because our society, all Western society, demands that women learn math, business, science, learns how to drive a car, you know, the rules of the road, English, the rules of English or whatever language you speak, etc. I mean, these are all left brain teaching. So she's forced to be in math class, science class, history class, English class from first grade on through high school and even college. And now we have computer technology. Not only are men totally stuck in the left brain for the most part, women are now getting more and more stuck in the left brain because of technology, because of taxes, because of all this left brain stuff. So I'm finding more and more women are wanting to learn how to ground themselves and work with me. So what's the whole purpose of everything and everything I've talked about, life, God, spirit, soul? It's to really get you to be balanced one unto the other. He shall be married one unto she, and they shall become one. So one flesh is symbolic of what you were supposed to do in your own mind, in your own brain, in your own skull, in your own nervous system. The ultimate goal is for you, the individual, to become at one with yourself. Now again, what does that mean? It means the left and right hemisphere, their electrical patterns or pulses, beep, 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 are on the same wavelength. So now the doorway is open from left brain to right brain and the communication can flow effortlessly. It's like they both are looking at, hearing, and seeing the same thing. And now by the way, this is what we call consciousness. When I work with men, I would say 7 or 8 out of 10 men that I work with finally get to this space within 4 days or so. And when they pop open, it is the most life-altering, life-changing experience. They're like, what is this? They achieve a level of consciousness that most people will never achieve. Now, they do this while they're working with me, so at that point they're going to have to go home and practice these techniques if they want to regain that, because they do pop out of it and you have to kind of pop back in. But the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Now, what do you think makes a healthy relationship? You complete me. Nope. It's when you complete yourself. When you gain rapport with yourself, left and right brain is on the same rhythm, consciousness, everything I've talked about. That's when you become a whole, complete human being instead of either or, left or right. So it really should say you complete you. Now imagine becoming a whole, complete human being. Not a perfect human being, but you have this energy, this groundedness, this emotional connection to yourself where you feel really good. Here's the really interesting thing. You don't need someone. You're with them because you want to be with them. Most people, you complete me, my empty holes inside my heart and my solar plexus and my stomach area. I need someone to fill them up with their energy. And that's what people are doing. They're filling each other up with their energy and they're like, oh, this is love. No, it's not. Because when they leave, those empty holes are going to still be there. And that's when you suffer. That's why breaking up sucks so bad. But if you're a whole, complete human being and you know how to connect to yourself and fill up your own energy holes, all of a sudden you don't need someone. And when they leave, it's done on a much more peaceful level and you move on a lot faster. Meaning you don't suffer like you did before. So the relationships that are based on your energies going into my heart center, now I feel complete, and all that stuff, those are not healthy relationships. Those are the ones that cause the tug of war, the yelling and the screaming, is because you need their energy and you're desperate for their energy, and it causes you to not respect yourself when someone cheats on you, you overlook it, and this is what causes all those problems. So another thing is when you're with someone because you want to be with them, not because you need them, but because you want to be with them, you bring in this whole complete being. And they bring in a whole complete being. And you're together out of choice, not out of desperation. Do you see the difference? These are the couples that tend to live more meaningful and fulfilling relationships where you're happy together, you're happy to be together. Because you didn't sacrifice for someone who's on drugs or they're this or they're that and they have these problems or the anger issues and whatever it is, you're like, yeah, I don't want that. Like me right now, I'm so happy with myself, I'm so content. It's kind of I don't know if I'll ever be able to get into a relationship, because once you find this space, you don't want to leave it, and everybody wants it. All I'm saying is when two whole and complete human beings who've learned how to connect with themselves come together, that's going to be a happy relationship. And those are the people that are going to want to stick around because it's fun to be with you. It's a happy time. It feels good. The left or right was taught to us to divide us. It was done on purpose. When I say divide us, I mean individually inside ourselves. That's why Jesus said, he shall be married one unto she. Now let me tell you a really cool therapeutic thing I did for someone that had schizophrenia. I got rid of it in one session at lunch. So me and my ex-girlfriend, we went to Lake Merritt in Oakland for some reason. I don't even remember. I think we literally just wanted to see it. I'd been there before, so I knew where it was. And we found a place on one of the main roads just around the corner from the movie theater. I would say probably 3-4 businesses down. It was a restaurant. We walk in, nobody was there except for this one lady, young lady, probably 25, 28. We were probably 32 years old. No, I think I was about 30 or 31. That's right. So we walk in there, and I don't remember what happened, but I think we got sat next to her. I think that, restaurants where, like, if there's no one there, they put everyone in the same section. So anyway, so we started a conversation with this lady, and I looked at her eyes like, oh shit, she's schizophrenic. I knew right away because her pupils were dilated separately differently. One was large and the other one was really small, her pupils. And not only that, but like she would switch up like constantly, like every 2 minutes. Like it was like a different person. Like, whoa, like what is this? So long story short, I think we invited her to join our table or something like that. And what it was, I wanted to work with her. Now here's the really cool thing. I realized like, oh, I can fix this. I know it sounds crazy, but so very shortly, because I thought, man, I'm not going to waste any time. Let's get to it. So I said, so you know, you're on medication. She goes, how do you know? I was like, she goes, am I acting weird? I'm like, no, you're fine. You're doing fine. I go, you're totally normal. And she goes, oh, okay. I'm like, well, I was like, well, this is what I do for a living. My girlfriend's like, yeah, he's like actually very intuitive. And I said, you know, you're schizophrenic, huh? She goes, how do you know? I was like, well, I can see it, and most people wouldn't, but don't worry about it. So all I did, now this is so funny, I just started talking to her, and this is one thing we do in NLP. We start to talk, we use metaphors and examples, and these start to help you to heal. But what I was really doing was I was getting her to open up, okay? I was getting her left brain and right brain to go in a certain rhythm. And then what I did with my left hand, I started going into one rhythm, literally right in front of her, like right now I'm doing it right now, like going up and down like a wave, right? And I was explaining to her, sometimes like your left brain will be on this wavelength, but then your other brain, and then I raised my other hand, I started going scattered and staticky, because what I was doing was I was matching the rhythm of each brain with the opposite hand, because that's the way the brain works. The left side of your brain controls the right side, and the right side controls the left side. Did I say that right? Yeah. So they control the other side of the body. So I did it. I just intuitively knew, like, if I do this, it'll match her rapport with each of her brains. And then what I did, now both my hands are going erratic on different wavelengths, and my girlfriend's like, fuck it. Like, it's actually pretty hard to do, by the way, if you if you don't know, but I had to completely let go and open up my space and allow my unconscious mind to do this. And then what I did was I began to slowly bring them into the same rhythm, and then I bring them into the same wavelength. And as I did this, her pupils dilated together at the exact same size. One went from large to medium, the other one went from pinpoint to medium. And she took a deep breath, and I brought my hands together and I pulled them down, and I said, do you feel okay now? And she goes, yeah, I feel so clear now. Now, another thing I'm doing, I'm using my heart energy, my actual energy, to help her energy to ground. So there's a series of things that I'm doing, and it really, once you learn, now you do have to learn it to individually. But once you learn how to do it, you combine, I literally probably combined probably 3 main things, and then some, I did some reframing, and I did a couple other things, but I'm combining all this stuff while I'm talking to this person. And I'm telling you, this probably only lasted about 20 to 25 minutes. It didn't take that long. And here's the deal. I said, you know, you're going to be tempted to want to just drop off your medication. Don't drop off. Do it slowly, okay? Just little by little over a period of 5 weeks or longer. Check in with your doctor and see how you go. We exchanged numbers, and over a period of time, she was completely off her medication, and she got a job. She was functioning in society, and she was enjoying life. Gaining rapport with yourself is powerful. It is literally life-altering. So the goal of everything we're doing is to reconnect with ourselves, to ground ourselves, and to come into rapport with ourselves, to gain this level of consciousness. To try to describe that, something you're going to have to experience. And for men, if you want to get the girl and keep the girl, she's going to willingly want to stay around if you know how to do this. It really helps her to calm down. So I've got a special going on right now for the month of September. It is $70 per session. Normally I charge $250. Obviously I'm doing this for a reason. I realized once people come in and take the sessions, they understand the value of it. So here's the deal. In the month of September, you can take as many sessions as you want for $70 per session. Now, if we go past the month of September, you can only do a total of 5. So here's what I mean. So normally else, you know, most people say you have to commit to 10 sessions. No, if you only want to do 1 session, that's fine. So if you go past the month of September into October, then you can complete up to 5 sessions. Meaning, okay, but here's one of the caveats. You have to do 1 session this month. Or at the very least, make a payment for a session you're going to set up in the first week of October, okay? And then it'll allow you to complete 5 sessions. And each session is only $70. Alright, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something that may have kind of shifted your perspective on life and spirit. Go ahead and click subscribe, click the like button, go ahead and make a comment, and as always, you can go ahead and make a donation. There's a PayPal link right there in the description box. And as always, another way you can go ahead and support this channel is you can buy one of my dating relationship books. Just go to my website, MikeKollin.com, and scroll down to the 3rd section. You're going to see the men's section on the left, the female right in the middle. There's a black and white silhouette couple kissing, and it says women's relationship coaching, I think is what it says. And you can buy your prospective products. I have 2 women's books, and I've definitely got men's books, etc., etc. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.